Hey, what's going on? It's Jeff Newport from ChasingStrength.com. And in today's video, we are going to discuss variety and whether or not it's overrated or underrated. So let's dive in, shall we? Variety, as they say, the proverbial they, is the spice of life. And you know what? I agree to an extent. In all honesty, I like variety in my own training. And recently I stated so in one of the videos here on the YouTube channel. Um, as a result, I was asked by somebody in the comments section if that was true. If I like variety so much, then why are most of my programs only one or two exercises? In fairness, that is actually a fair question, right? But it's not exactly true, right? So if we do a quick overview of some of my most popular programs, which you may have or may not have or may have seen or may not have seen, there's the Giant, which is two exercises, the clean and the press. And I tell people, hey, you can add in a few extra exercises at the end if you want, right? There's the king size killer, which is actually just one exercise, the Snatch, right? There's the strong program found inside of kettlebell strong, and that's two exercises, just like the Giant, right? Press. And there's swing hard, which is two exercises again, swing or one hand swing. All right. So you know what? So far, I'm agreeing with this commenter, right? But there are also some other programs I have which are far from minimalist in the exercise selection department. For one, there's a program called Kettlebell Hard. It's actually not a program, it's a product, and it's a series of 20 different programs, right? And they use multiple double kettlebell exercises like the double kettlebell swing, the double kettlebell high pull, the double kettlebell snatch, the double kettlebell front squat, the double kettlebell clean, double kettlebell press, double kettlebell push press, double kettlebell jerk. What did I miss one? Oh, rows, I think. So what is that? If my math's correct, that's about 9 different lifts, right? Okay, so there's kettlebell burn, which is a single kettlebell exercise program, and that uses the following single kettlebell lifts. We've got the clean, the press, the Turkish get up sit up, the goblet squat, the staggered stance row, two hand swing, one hand swing, and the contralateral single leg deadlift. If my math's good, I think that's 11, right? And then there's kettlebell burn extreme, which is again another double kettlebell exercise program, right? That actually uses 4 double kettlebell lifts, right? The military press, the double kettlebell front squat, the clean, and the swing, right? So as I said, that's 4. Let's keep going. There's easy muscle that has multiple schedules, 3 different schedules with multiple exercises, including the clean, the press, your choice of squat, right? Swings, dips, and chins. That's 6 at least. And then there's my newest program, which is called Kettlebell Maximorum, and that uses only 4, right? Only proverbial air quotes there. So double clean, double press, double front squat, snatch. So what's the deal? Like, why is there so much variety with the programming variety? And it's pretty simple. We're all different, right? Some people can go an inch wide and a mile deep and prefer minimalist 1 or 2 kettlebell exercise training programs. Some people actually just prefer more variety or they go crazy. Some people like myself, we swing back and forth between the two, minimalist and variety, depending on our seasons in life. So others actually they feel this deep-seated need to cure their easily distractible natures, jumping from program to program with the rigid structure of a minimalist program to ensure they actually make progress they're looking for, right? So the minimalist structure keeps them focused, laser focused, and dialed in. Okay. And then yet there's still others who are limited by high mileage from a life of hard work, right? They need something different altogether. And because they have so much high mileage, they may actually be physically limited to just a few exercises as opposed to the large variety they could have done when they were younger. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, it's really important to realize this because, again, we're all different, right? And we all need different programs for our ultimate individual goals. However, I will say this. There's one thing that we all have in common, and that's we expect a high ROI, or return on investment, from our efforts, right? And the fastest way to do that I've seen and that I've used over the last, 30 years or so, 25 years, since 1996, when I first learned about this from my coach, was the concept of implementing a specific form of variety that works practically for everybody, and that's called variable loading. Okay, what's variable loading? Well, quite simply, it's a training structure that's characterized by apparently near random contrasting training loads designed to speed up and maximize your results. Okay, so just think about something that looks like this. Think about giant waves on an ocean. All right, that's very similar to what variable loading looks like. Okay. In fact, I think it's one of the key differentiators between my programming and almost everybody else's. In simplest terms, you can think of variable loading as contrasting variables like heavy and light. Okay. Or even light, medium, and heavy, or some variation of that, right? There's that word again, variety, variation. Okay. In fact, I used to spend Saturdays, like all day on Saturday, from about mid 1996 to mid 2000 with my weightlifting coach, Alfonso Duran, at his gym, Unlimited Fitness Center in West New York, New Jersey. Why it's called West New York, New Jersey, I don't know, but it's West New York, New Jersey. And I don't even know if Unlimited Fitness Center is there anymore. But if it is, you should go check it out. Unfortunately, Alfonso passed a couple of years ago, so he's no longer there. But I would just sit down and I would watch him train his clients. And then I would pick his brain about why did you choose that? And why did you do this? And why did you structure it that way? And so one of the very first things that he actually taught me was this concept of variable loading, right? From Professor Arkady Vorobiev. Okay, I believe that was his name. And this variable loading, this waviness of load, right, that I showed you, that looks something like this contrasting degree of heavy and light, or sometimes heavy, medium, and light, that became like the mainstay of almost all my programming primarily since then. Okay. So, fortunately, you don't have to be a whiz at programming to benefit from variable loading, right? In fact, many cases you can use a concept called auto-regulation to aid in the task. Okay. What is auto-regulation? Right? Auto-regulation is simply the self-management of your work output based on your current state, right? So how you're feeling, your psychological, your emotional, and physical states, right? Practically speaking, what does that look like? Well, it's like if you slept well or didn't sleep well, how much energy you have is basically how you're going to structure this. Now, what makes this variable is that your state, right? If you're anything like me, if you got kids and you're busy and you miss nights of sleep, or you get poor nights of sleep because you got so much going on, right? Your state changes on a daily basis. Again, similar to those waves on the ocean. I think, in fact, I know based on my experience and what my clients and customers tell me, is that autoregulation is a major, major training variable around which most of us over 30, 40, and certainly over 50 would be really smart if we want to see results to organize our training around. Okay. Around which to organize our training, I think would probably be the correct grammar. All right. So hopefully you grammar Nazis aren't going to pound me for that. Okay. So practically speaking, I alluded to this earlier, but practically speaking, here's how this plays out, right? Some days your kettlebells feel light and your workout's easy and you can push a little harder on those days. And other days it's the opposite, right? Those bells feel heavy and you feel like a giant foot is grinding you into the earth like a cigarette butt, right? So if you need variety in your training, just remember, use variable loading and auto-regulation because they're some of the best ways to make that happen. Okay. So whether you do it using a minimalist program or a traditional program doesn't really matter, because variable loading and auto-regulation combined, those two combined, practically guarantee that you're going to keep getting leaner and stronger and better conditioned for years to come. All right. So hopefully you found that helpful. And, you might be sitting here thinking, well, all right, Jeff, what's like one of the best programs for me? Like, what's the best program for me? And honestly, I can't answer that because I don't know you personally. So let me just give you a quick rundown of some programs, and I'll include the links to these programs in the description box below, so you can check them out if you want to. All right. So if your primary goal is to get leaner, lose some fat, and you had just one or two kettlebells to do so, then I would recommend a program called Kettlebell Burn. Right. And if you want to do it as fast as possible, if you want to get as lean as possible, as fast as possible, and you had multiple kettlebells and you were actually proficient with the double kettlebell lifts, then I would recommend Kettlebell Burn Extreme. Okay. And if you want to feel like an overall, what's the right word? Bad dude, right? I guess that's we can't swear here on YouTube, otherwise we get censored, right? And flagged and our content gets removed. So you can, let's call it a BadA, right? So if you want to feel like a BadA, I'd recommend a program called Kettlebell Maximorum. Okay. So again, that's pretty much what you need to keep in mind: auto-regulation, variable loading, okay, and picking the best program for you. All right. Hope you found this video helpful. If you did, click the like button, Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you agree with me or disagree with me, and whether or not you've tried variable loading or auto regulation and what they did for you, or the combination of the two. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. And if you found this video really helpful, click the share link and send it to one of your friends. All right. Until next time, my friend, stay strong.